live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
All right, what up, everyone? I am Garrett from Elvis Duran and the Z100 Morning Show. Welcome to the Dunkin Latte Lounge. I am super excited. Jillian, Shea, Spaeder is in our virtual Dunkin Lounge. Welcome, Jillian.
Thank you.
It's one of those weird things, like 9 months ago, we'd be like, a virtual lounge, what's that? But now it's like, oh, it's a virtual lounge. We're here. We're doing it. So let's talk, many big things on the docket for you. Do you realize what the next year until infinity is going to be like for you?
Oh, I'm hoping fun.
It has to be.
Put out an album, so we've been doing that. It's been crazy, but
Album, coming off of working with Disney to going on to Disney Plus to who knows what's behind door number 3 by the end of this. You could have like 6 more deals lined up for something. And so let's first talk about Disney. I mean, many people have watched, grown up, gone off to be very successful people. I mean, just to go through the list, the list, obviously. I mean, Britney, Justin, Christina, all first name, Demi, Selena, Sophia Carson. Ryan Gosling, for God's sakes. And then there's you. You're a part of a very elite group. Do you really understand, or is it one of those things where it's like, wow, I'm a part of this?
it's weird. I kind of put like all of the like old Disney stars in this separate entity as like me and my friends on Disney. And obviously my friends are the coolest, but I don't look at myself in a cool way. But it's really cool to be possibly following in the footsteps of people who have had such successful careers.
Many big names too. And to get out and do your own music now, I started thinking, like, can you remember the first time you had that like, aha, wow, I could sing moment? Do you remember what you were singing? Were your parents or family were like, hello, you have a talent, Jillian?
I don't know. My parents will say that like I had perfect pitch when I was 6, but like I don't know. I just grew up singing. I don't really remember being like, oh, I'm a singer. I just kind of liked doing it and was always doing it.
Did you have a song that you would constantly sing that around the house, and then everybody was like, please stop singing it, please?
I think I sang Walking on Sunshine a lot when I was little.
It's a very positive song, though, especially when you're feeling down to hear it. For me, in my house, I have a 5-year-old, and right now it's Baby Shark and Rebecca Black's Friday. So yeah, that's what my house looks like.
Good music.
5. I don't want to be the person to shape how he thinks in music. I kind of want him to bring his own ideas of music into his life. So let's talk very quickly about Walk the Prank. I have friends from the Impractical Jokers, very similar to that. They're very much older than you guys. But during quarantine, a lot of shows have come together, hung out on Zoom and put it out. Did you guys get together and kind of like do a meetup and during quarantine over the last couple months?
We didn't, but we should. I'm going to text them right after this. I think you gave me a good idea.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Because your schedule isn't busy as is already. Why not throw one more thing on there too?
Sounds fun.
Well, let's also talk about Godmother. Jillian Bell, Isla Fisher. It has to, at certain days, you got to wake up and go, this is freaking awesome.
The trailer came out like 20 minutes before I hopped on here with you guys, so we're excited. It's been a fun time, fun day. It'll be out December 4th, so we're getting there.
So when did you get to shoot it? Like about a year ago, or before everything kind of hit pause?
You have no idea. They got wrapped 3 days early, so we were working from December right up until when quarantine started.
So that kind of that had to be interesting. Something you've never experienced in your life before. We're like, hey, we got to end early because this thing's happening in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. A lot of us were like, oh, whatever. It's probably not going to be that bad. And our one castmate, Isla, was like, it's bad. It's coming. It's going to happen. And all of us were like, stop being dramatic. And then now we're very glad she was hand sanitizing everything.
Did you, working with Isla, did you ever get to run into Sacha Baron Cohen?
No, I haven't met him. I've never met him. I'm sure I will at some point, but he seems super sweet.
And super funny too, and always keep your guard up. But you of all people would keep your guard up, but coming from where walk the prank. So all right, let's talk about some music too. You're going to do some songs for us, which we're very excited and thankful for too. So walk us through I Don't Know. Why I Don't Know, background, give us all the details coming from you.
I Don't Know was one of those, like, I threw together because I was bored during quarantine, and I feel like the whole song kind of feels like being bored in quarantine. And I started writing it in a parking lot while my mom was in the grocery store, and then for like 5 minutes. And then the next day I wrote like 5 minutes more in a different car in a different parking lot, and then finished it in the car again in a third parking lot. And the whole song starts that way. So it was just kind of I'm bored out of my mind, so I'm gonna write a song that kind of makes no sense but is also kind of insightful. I don't know.
Well, no, that's the best way to do it, because a lot of people are going to ask you to tell us about I Don't Know, and if you really want to mess with people and make them feel awkward, literally I don't know, it just happened.
Yeah.
they won't know what to say. The other people will kind of be like, where do we go from here? Oh, okay. But or you have another idea for a song in the car, since you wrote it all in a car. All right, so let's get into it right now. Of course, this is Jillian, Shea, Spaeder with I Don't Know.
I'm sitting in a parked car. This guy next to me is lighting his whole car on fire while I sit in mine. I'm waiting on the long haul, 'cause maybe one day all of the stars in Hollywood will be in the sky. And all the windy roads lead to somewhere I don't know. I don't know. Knowledge is a nightmare. There's no one to blame but ourselves for the mess that we have made. And all the windy roads lead to somewhere I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause I'm sitting in a parked car. This guy next to me is lighting his whole car on fire while I sit in mine. That's just the way it is in Hollywood. Everyone goes by their middle name. Some people play with fire. And all the windy roads lead to somewhere I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, obviously you know, but as someone watching you and watching you perform, you got a voice. You have one of those voices that, like, if I'm on The Voice, the show, I would hit my button immediately. I want you on my team. This is a voice that not a lot of people have.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
But seriously, I mean, you knew, like you said, you had perfect pitch. I think I only have perfect pitch in the shower. For some strange reason, I think I could sell out the Garden only if I perform in the shower. Anywhere else, not happening. All right, so let's go right ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying the shower is the place for you a perfect pitch always.
All right, so let's jump into You and Me.
3 days since you left me, waiting since you left me, baby. And I'm sorry times were bad, but at least there's still a chance that we won't say goodbye tonight. could talk. You and me could write about the places we have been, the things that we have been through. You and me. You and me could. You and me could never be the same. So what's gone has been erased. You and me. I miss your eyes till I saw them at noon. From my old squeaky window we called a kazoo. And your words felt like daggers to my malfunction manners. But you won't see me cry tonight. Cause you and me could talk. You and me could write about the places we have been, the things that we have been through. You and me. You and me could. You and me could never be the same. So what's gone has been erased. You and me. I thought it was you and me. I thought it was you. But it turns out that none of this is what it seems. I thought it was you and me, but you thought differently. And we could write about the places we have been, but what's the point if it was never love? 4 days since you left me waiting, now I'm here to say that it will never be the same. Cause it's you that has to change. You and me.
Let's jump into You and Me. Give us a little background on You and Me and the process of it.
Cool. You and Me, I ironically wrote in a car again. I don't know if you're sensing a pattern here, but I enjoy writing music in the backseat of a car when it's cold out. And You and Me was, I was trying to tell a story. I don't do a lot of writing that has a big storytelling aspect. And I was really trying to do the Taylor Swift lyrics and try and tell a story from start to finish and have a big turn during it. And I wrote it also during quarantine, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I hope you guys like it.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. A lot of artists too, I'm sure, have said that over the last 9-10 months, it's been nothing but writing, producing, recording, and waiting for the right time to just, you know, push it out through the door. So it's a great time to be a fan of music, to be an artist, because there's going to be a ton of music over the next year and change coming out. I mean, country artists have like almost quadruple albums coming out because they wrote so much stuff. I mean, how many songs do you think, before we get into You and Me, how many songs do you think you've personally have written or sang over the last couple of months?
Oh my gosh, I've written, like, I feel like I've spent so much time writing, but I don't even think I've like gotten that many songs out of it. I think I've probably written like 6 or 7 songs during quarantine, but I'm one of those writers that like, I don't really sit down and force myself to write. I just kind of write if I'm like, oh, I'm in a mood to write. I feel like I can write a song right now. And I sit down and I don't write for 3 more weeks. And I think I did a lot of playing and definitely a lot of sitting with producers and working on stuff I've already done. Decent amount of writing for me, but not a crazy amount.
and or if you're in a car, that's that we know when you're in a car, you're either traveling somewhere or you're writing or doing both. All right. So speaking of one of the songs you have written in the car, this is You and Me. Welcome back to the Dunkin Latte Lounge. That was You and Me, Jillian, Shea, Spaeder. I can only wonder if the next song we're going to jump into in just a second was written in the car, but we'll get to it in a second as well. All right. So aside from music, obviously that is your work and passion and acting. How have you spent the last couple of months yourself, just to get outside of the work bubble and can't really hang out at places. So how have you kept busy?
Yeah, obviously wearing my mask all the time. I love social distancing, so I've been doing lots of Zooms with my friends and playing music with my family, spending time with my sister. I went back from LA to Philly so I could see my brother and sister and chill out and relax and be more in nature instead of Los Angeles.
Ultimate Philly question: what type of cheesesteak girl are you?
I've never had a cheesesteak. I know. Everybody always asks. I've never had a cheesesteak.
Wow. I'm sure your family though has to be a fan of a specific, possibly.
I just haven't. Like,
Well, you know what? That's fine too. I mean, I know people that have never, and they're like almost 30 years old, have never eaten vegetables.
that's a little weirder.
Like, but they don't need anything green. They don't need anything green, and they don't put any ice in their soda. So it's like,
I love
so
my
we all have that one thing. I've never had olives, so never.
like
Olives to me, don't. I don't know.
like you've never had any olives.
No, never. I think it's the look for me personally. I just don't want. Can't get over that hump. Don't want to get over that hump.
I think we need to put a pause. I'll eat a cheesesteak. You can have some olives, and then we can come.
That could either go one or two ways. We'll both like, oh my god, that's amazing, or just like a scene straight out of Family Guy, where we're like, oh. All right. So before we get into something better, so we're in the Dunkin' Latte Lounge, Jillian. If you had the opportunity to walk into a Dunkin', mask on, of course, but hang out with one of your favorite artists as you're waiting online to get your order from Dunkin', and just shoot the breeze. What artist would that be? They could be living, they could be passed on. Who would that artist be for you?
I have two different routes I'm going in my mind.
Go both
here
routes. This is yours. Like
Freddie Mercury, and half my brain wants to say Ed Sheeran.
both.
And I don't.
Why not?
So I don't know. I think me, Ed, and Freddie would be a nice little friend group.
That's the one thing. Like people are like, well, I only have to pick one. Like you could pick like five. Who am I to tell you your dream?
God, Duncan. I think it would have to be Freddie, Ed, maybe like Julia Michaels. Let's throw in some spice. Miley Cyrus. I feel like Miley and Freddie would get along nicely.
Yeah, and Julia and Ed too. I mean, if you wouldn't have a song by the time you got off that line, I don't know what would ever come of a song. But it sounds like a perfect song in the making. I mean, four amazing songwriters. Well, five plus you. You would have to go in the car, obviously, after that and start writing the song. But all right. So Jillian, before we get into something better, let's hit up all the socials, where to follow along, and of course Disney Plus too. You could check out Godmothered and tell us all the socials to follow your story, because I feel like it's just getting started.
Thank you. I mostly post on Instagram. That's the only social media I'm really active on. My username is Jillian Shea Spaeder. Sheaspaeder. It's kind of confusing. I'm like ready to legally change my name because of that spelling. But Twitter, and it's Jillian Spaeder, and then TikTok, of course, and I think my username is Jillian.Spaeder.
All right. Well, and if you're a car company, please talk to Jillian, because she loves a studio in the form of a car to make songs.
Absolutely. And really want to job something.
All right. So, and of course, if you want to follow along, hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge, and you can watch all these interviews that we've done over the past couple of months as well, including come back and watch Jillian's all over again too. So before we let you go, Jillian, and perform, tell us about Something Better.
Oh, Something Better. I co-wrote.
Car or no car first?
No car.
Okay.
That's just because I had co-writers. They didn't want to sit in the car. They wanted to go in a studio.
Oh, studios.
People that like writing in studios.
So yesterday.
Kylie and Brett, and they're my favorite humans on the face of this earth. And we Brett is a wonderful guitar player and came up with this awesome part, and then we all just kind of came up with the whole song. And there's a music video out that me and my friend actually directed and came up with the whole concept, and it's in like film festivals and stuff, which is super cool. So that music video, it just spices it up more if you want to listen to the actual recording.
So first watch the performance, and after go over to the YouTubes and watch that. That's my suggestion. That's how I'm going to do it. That's how you should do it. But yeah, so Jillian, thank you so much for hanging with us in the Dunkin' Latte Lounge. We appreciate it. Just make sure to give us a shout out, whether it's a Grammy, an Emmy, an Oscar. You'll become an EGOT by the end of probably the next couple of years. So just remember us when you're winning that EGOT. All right, that is the Dunkin' Latte Lounge. This is Jillian, Shea, Spaeder with Something Better. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Got nothing to prove, nothing to gain. I couldn't see it clear until I walked away. I played your games, went out on a limb. It's not your fault that you never learned to give. You're all out of good intentions, and I'm already gone. I'm tired of this one-way street. Middle ground will never meet. I find you a line on the other side. You can't get to me. I'm gonna need something better, something that you could never, because you're so self-censored. You don't ever even try. I'm gonna need something better. Every breath you take for yourself, leaving none behind to help somebody else. But it's all good, I've let it go. Hard to care about someone who never cared at all. I'm all out of second chances. We're already done. I'm tired of this one-way street. Middle ground will never meet. I found you a line on the other side. You can't get to me. I'm gonna need something better, something that you could never, because you're so self-censored. You don't ever even try. I'm gonna need something. I'm all out of second chances. We're already done. You're all out of good intentions, and I'm already tired of this one-way street. Middle ground will never meet. I finally drew a line on the other side. You can't get to me. I'm gonna need something better, something that you could never, because you're so self-censored. You don't ever even try. I'm gonna need something better, 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 something better, 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 something better, 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 better. I'm gonna need something better.
Live from the Dunkin' Latte Lounge,